Welcome back to the show, everybody. You're going to love today because XRP is up over 9% in the last 24 hours. You heard that right, 9%. And we're going to bust some Ripple FUD, XRP FUD, big time. And we got the BIS in Ripple, and we got so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it's $1.38 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.8%. Bitcoin, 35,200 plus. Ethereum, 1897 and change. And we see Tether market cap, 85.4 billion plus. BNB at the number 4 spot right now. XRP at the number 5 spot. But I bring that up because that wasn't the case overnight. That's right. XRP was at the number 4 spot. We're going to get into that as well. Right now, we're up 8.2 here, but you'll see in a second on Fiat Link, we're up over 9%, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 24 hours. 25.4% up on the 7-day. Starting to ask the question, when moon? Yeah. And just moments ago, we were 9.03% up on the 24-hour, now 8.78 as it's fluctuating, ranging between 63.51 cents and 70.74 cents. That's where we're at this morning. Oh, it's a good day, ladies and gentlemen. And so is this link to private equity, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is sign up, register, and get started. You just got to click the link below, and you're already on your journey to get private equity. No doubt about it. And the best private equity in the world. So make sure you do that before it is gone. Now look at this. This is what we're talking about from Michael Branch right here. Give him a follow. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. XRP took the number 4 spot as it was up 10.19% at the time when it did that. Shout out to Michael for that. But that reminded me of something back in the day. XRP is now currently at the moment trending over Ethereum. Google Trends, check it out. You can see it right here. So this is pretty interesting. Now, what I wanted to share with that is for people who have not been in this space long, back in 2018, Ripple actually passed Ethereum to claim the number 2 ranking on CoinMarketCap. Now, it wasn't long after that things started getting really funny for Ripple and XRP because I believe they understood clearly at Ethereum's camp where the danger was because the power of the tech and the business Ripple. Here we see this. This is an alert to everyone here. The scammers, they are unfortunately so very good. Please be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Community alert here from Zach XBT. Thank you to him or her, whoever that is. There is currently a fake Ledger Live app on the official Microsoft App Store, which has resulted in 16.8 plus Bitcoin. That's over 500,000 stolen. Oh, boy. Please be careful. I mean, I have been victim to phishing attacks and, in many other situations I know people have been hung up in. But just please be careful. I hope everybody gets a chance to see this. And if they don't, please retweet it if you're on a social media platform or a post. And then tell everybody, friends, neighbors, co-workers, let's get this out. I don't want to see people, they work so hard for what they have to be taken advantage of. And that's a pretty hard scam to recognize there. So I'm grateful for Zach XBT there. Charles P. Payne says, it's early for me this morning on a time change here, getting adjusted to it here. Stop showering Sam Bankman-Fried, his family with sympathy. It's time to expand the probe to everyone involved, including Wall Street and Silicon Valley. And this is absolutely right. This is why we love Charles V. Payne, because he calls it like he sees it. And he's been in the world of finance for a very long time. So I think this is spot on. And I don't think anything should stop about this case, even though Sam Bankman-Fried has been found guilty on all charges. I think they should go deeply into this the way he has suggested here, and his family. His mother and father are absolutely complicit in this. That is not a guess. Well, speaking of funny business here, how about this guy? Now, which story is it? That's what we have to ask ourselves. I want you to listen back here. 2019 swell, Alex Holmes. I want you to listen to what he said about their partnership with Ripple. Take a listen.
We're doing a lot with ODL today, and also pushing into RippleNet as well in the coming weeks and months.
Now, very quickly, this is about the MoneyGram Ripple partnership for those that aren't aware. Take a listen.
The thing I love about ODL at the moment is that we're sort of completely in the forefront of this. As we go around and talk, I think there's a lot of skeptical people out there still, and you know, I'm here to say, I guess I was one of them, and now I am not.
Do you think Ripple could make a comeback?
There's a lot of FX volatility in that stuff.
And to be able to see transactions go to, you know, for example, U.S. to Mexico, which is the biggest corridor we have right now, we're moving, you know, $350 transfers to Mexico literally, you know, every second, you know, sub-seconds. We're moving just and settling, you know, billions of dollars. And
That's probably the single biggest challenge that we had, you know, using that was we were trying to look at cross-border use cases, and you go from, you know, US dollar to a peso like we do today. You got to buy pesos, you have to play pesos into the market. There's an FX cost to that. Well, you think when you go into the crypto world you could eliminate the FX cost. The reality is you can't, because that coin's moving around in value. So
you know, for us, I think getting US to Mexico up, I think we're pushing almost today about 10% of our volume that we normally do to Mexico through the ODL platform. It's working extremely well. We've now opened into 4 new corridors that we're beginning to scale, and I think that those will continue to ramp in the coming weeks and months. And you know, at the end of the day, pairing off our transaction flows with the currency flows really gives a lot of efficiency and scale to what we do. You know,
it didn't really solve for anything, and actually it added a third element, because now you're going a dollar to a currency to another currency. So now you're doing like 2 foreign exchange trades instead of 1.
Literally having that on-demand liquidity, so knowing how many pesos I moved, what time of day, what the peso rate was, and then be able to actually buy your pesos at that same time, land them in Mexico for the purposes of settling, is really pretty phenomenal. It's pretty amazing.
So it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. So you know, I won't comment on, you know, what else they're doing or where they're going to go, because, you know, it's a lovely company, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there you have it. Now, what's funny is that if you remember, I'm going to take you back to the actual deal. This is back in blockchain firm Ripple to end the partnership with MoneyGram back in March of 2021, right? So what's interesting about all of this is Brad Garlinghouse said, today we are announcing that Ripple and MoneyGram have together decided to wind down our current partnership agreement. Now, understand that Ripple had been sued by the SEC at this point, right? And both are committed to revisiting in the future. See our full statement, which he has there. But what's interesting about this is that they put up 50 million, and let me double check that. Yes, it's right here. So Ripple bought a $30 million stake in MoneyGram in 2019 with its partnership initially set for 2 years. The deal allowed MoneyGram to use Ripple's product for cross-border payments and foreign exchange settlement. Now, for me, it was one of those things that was like, this is not only a partnership, which, by the way, was approved by the SEC, and they knew that MoneyGram was going to use XRP, but then they turned around and sued anyway. It's pretty remarkable what the SEC has done here, and unconscionable, despicable, and some more words that rhyme with gymnasium. But nevertheless, MoneyGram stopped transacting under its commercial agreement with Ripple in early December and said in a regulatory filing it will not receive any market development fees in 2021. So there's the $30 million stake, but it was up to a $50 million deal, I believe, that they had planned, and they bought up to $30 million. So the original plan was that Ripple was going to buy up to 10% stake in MoneyGram, okay? So you wonder, when you hear this kind of bad mouth move here by this CEO, Alex Jones, you have to wonder, does this have something to do with unwinding that deal and that money he may have wanted? I don't know the answer, but something is absolutely off with Alex Holmes at MoneyGram, no doubt about it. And I'll tell you why. And it's not just because of his two-faced statements, okay? It goes much deeper to that. It's because of this. Kuwaiti finance house calls Ripple a world-class firm amid partnership for instant cross-border service. Uh-oh, looks like Alex Holmes from MoneyGram is looking like a jaded girlfriend, right? Because now what we see, Kuwaiti Finance House cooperates with world-class companies to provide unique top-tier services such as cooperation with Ripple to launch instant cross-border payment service by using Ripple's technology. So, you know, when we see this stuff about Kuwaiti Finance House, and shout out to Wheezy for this, then let's look at this. Okay, here we go again. Bank of International Settlements, the central bank of central banks of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, no one disputes that. Did you know we are the regulatory co-host of 2023 DC FinTech Week on November 6th through the 9th? Tune in to hear Augustin Carstens and everyone else, including this guy right here, Brad Garlinghouse, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah. From the firm that we're hearing Mr. Alex Holmes suggest, right, is okay, I guess, right? But the truth is, the Kuwaiti Financial House, right, the Bank of International Settlements, the central bank of central banks, certainly sees the value of Ripple. And obviously, they're offering XRP for cross-border payments, even if they haven't used it yet. That's why I'm having trouble seeing Alex Holmes from MoneyGram on this FinTech Week. Yeah, that's right, because he's probably the one that's wrong, right? Something up with that. Then there's this. As we inch closer to November 20th, the list of heavy hitters gearing up for a paradigm shift is jaw-dropping here from Wall Street Bulls. The integration and adoption spree slated for November 19th is nothing short of a financial renaissance. From SEPA to SWIFT, BNY Mellon to HSBC, the unanimity, in moving toward a new financial era is clear, and XRP is poised to be at the heart of this transformation. I think that's absolutely right. The convergence of these financial giants, on the same release implementation dates underscores the synchronicity in this massive transition. The anticipation is electric, and it really is. With Ripple's prowess and the XRP's efficiency, we're not just witnessing a change, we're part of a revolution. Let's buckle up for this exhilarating ride towards uncharted territories. That's exactly right. And when you hear me say that we are witnessing the greatest financial paradigm shift in the history of mankind, and it cannot be overstated, this is what we're talking about here. And this here is the shift to ISO 20022, right? The world is ready for unstoppable power. Ripple and XRP, November 20th is going to be a game changer. Now, I don't know if it's on that day. That's the only thing I have to say to that, because we know that all of these systems are switching and moving over and all of this business, and that is great. But that does not necessarily mean that XRP gets used on November 19th or November 20th, right? And that's something I think everyone should at least consider. Right? And look, and I hope that they do, and I hope the price goes absolutely ballistic. I am someone who believes that XRP will ultimately live at 4 and 5 digits. There's no question about that. But for me at least, right? But what I do understand is that I have witnessed since 2017 here, I have witnessed a phase-in operation where things are phased in. And we know it is not a speculative thought. Ripple is, in fact, on the ISO 20022 body standard or standards body committee, right? That's a fact. So is Stellar, right? So seeing all of this integration is absolutely positive. Now, when it computes to the use of XRP, may still be a stage away or so. And when that starts to happen, I wouldn't be shocked if it's done at 5% of the payments on the daily flow. And then phase it into 10% and so on and so on and so on, right? So expect that is what I am expecting. But if it's better than that, I won't be disappointed. That is for sure. And listen to this, because speaking of switching to ISO 20022, which obviously moves to a standardized messaging system that's been around for more than a decade, but it also is going to build in the ability to code out central bank digital currencies, stable coins, and other assets like XRP and XLM to help move value along with that rich data in the messaging. So along with that, we know that the stage is being set here, because if you haven't seen my video from yesterday, I said Ripple Liquidity Hub goes live this year. And that is because we know that the CEO from Uphold has just partnered Uphold with Ripple, and we know that that is exactly the definition of what Ashish Birla told us, is that Ripple sitting in front or on top of something like a Coinbase, which is a prime broker like Uphold, and here you have it right here, right? So Uphold is the better deal, it's the better situation, and that's why they're with them, and they are gearing up to launch in December, he had mentioned, with Ripple, and what they're going to do on the business enterprise end, right, which is going to provide daily payments and flows every day. So Uphold is not held to the speculative retail side, which is still a very large part of their business. But listen to this quick clip from Simon.
Course is there's a slightly different point, which is as regulation is now finally becoming clearer in the UK, in Europe in particular, in places like Singapore and Dubai, as the regs become clearer, you're going to get greater enterprise adoption. You're also going to get greater adoption from the traditional finance world. So we've now been approached by several banks who are interested in white labeling our service. Again, they don't want our wallet. They don't want their customers have to go through KYC twice, but they do want to plug in and access certain of our core services.
And there you have it right there. He's telling you, and as I said yesterday, we reported in this interview from Link 2, shout out to Ray Fuentes and everybody at Joe Adoso, this is what we know. They plan on launching this and starting it very quickly in December of this year. That means all of 24 is going to be just ramping up the solutions for financial services and banks, right? This is extremely exciting because this is opening up an avenue where Ripple's not a startup, Uphold's not a startup. They are connecting two businesses that have massive, massive business flow, and I believe we are going to see some network effects out of that move right there. Then there's this. This is Atomic Net. Don't forget about Atomic Net with Jack McDonald here, an Atomic Settlement. And the reminder from XRP Drops here is this, is that if you look at Atomic Settlement versus via central banks here, you can see Ripple helps make that happen. But we also know, just to go into this very quickly here, if I go back to that, sorry about that. If we go back to this, we know that Atomic Net is what they're building for Polysign settlement, and Arthur Brito and David Schwartz are the ones working on that, and that is going to be very exciting. And honestly, if you're talking about the situation with Uphold combining with Ripple to service the financial industry, banks alike, they're going to need a situation at some point where it gets so good to them that they're going to want to get deeper into this game instead of just using the service, and they're going to have a need for custody, right? And look at here. And that's why that's guys right there. So shout out to Jack McDonald for that. Now let's take a look at this, because we are up over 25% on the 7-day. We are up over 9% in the last 24 hours. XRP Valhalla, says Eggrad Crypto, the ultimate summoning. Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the mother of all bull runs is upon the XRP army. Well, I love hearing this. Check out in below chart here. Well, we certainly will. You can see where the bullish crosses have been and where we're at the crossroads of another bullish cross, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see here in this very close time frame what he's showing us all. We are right here. And if we cross, it's going to get even better is what they're saying. And matter of fact, let's take a look at that further. Eggrad Crypto goes on to say we get that cross, and basically our midterm targets are 85 cents, $1, $5.50, and $6.40, ladies and gentlemen, up to $7 even. Then we're looking at this from Dark Defender here, rightfully so. Hashtag free DAI, ladies and gentlemen. The fight is not over. Working very diligently so he can get his profile back, and we'll keep you up to date for anything that we find out. Shout out to DAI. Hi all. What a weekend it was. We set the 66 cents target for a very short term, and now it's broken a 4-hour time frame. Congrats. Who believed in it? We need to stay above this level today as well. The daily time frame indicates we were oversold, so they might be back testing 66 cents, but currently right now we're at 70, right? So Let's see, our next target is $1.88 in the short term. And you guys know what happens after we cross $1. Things get really interesting. We must observe XRP close to 66.49 first, a prerequisite to crucial Fibonacci level $1.88, as said. We're at 70 cents currently plus. And right now, well, the other targets such as 105 and 133, but none of them are as strong as 66 cents, similarly as $1.8815 has the same strength. So whenever we see 188 broken, the $1.88 broken, then we could set the target for $5.85 as our short-term target from that point on. Ooh, getting exciting, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, don't forget to join us in the Freedom Zone, ladies and gentlemen. This has been amazing. And today we're going to be getting into who's really behind Ethereum. Yeah, ETHgate, like we said over the weekend, it is much bigger than you think. And I tell you, we're going to peel back a little bit of that for you a little more, like the layers of an onion, and put some glasses on and something to close your nose, because this thing stinks to high heaven, and you're going to want every bit of it. But you know how it is. We can't touch these things because we know what happened to the XRP goat. He got canceled. He got wiped out, right? Silenced. No reason, no warning, no nothing. But that's why the hundreds, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of others, have joined us in here in just the last 2 weeks. And I'm asking you to, for the less than a cost of a cup of coffee a month, let's make sure that we don't get silenced, because we can all stay together no matter what. And we're having conversations in here I wouldn't dream of having out on social media because of the censorship that still exists. But that's going to do it for me. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you in the Freedom Zone.